Thank you for joining us today for the Haku National Internship Program info session. Before we get started talking about the internship program, I just wanted to talk a little bit about career development. So we offer, we can help you with your application for this internship program, or if you're looking for other internships, we can help you with that search as well. We help with resumes, cover letters, interviewing. If you are not sure what you want to do after you graduate, we can help you figure that out too. So basically anything that's related to, finding your career path and starting a career after graduating, we can help you with. We are doing virtual appointments right now, so feel free to copy down that phone number or that email at the bottom of your screen and contact us, and we can schedule a virtual appointment for you. So I'll leave that up there. It's gonna have it at the end of the workshop as well. It'll be up there, but if you want to copy it, I'll leave it up there for another few seconds so you can copy it down. Okay, so Haku, the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities, has a national internship program, and these are paid federal and corporate internships for students of all majors. The benefits of the national internship program include a biweekly pay based on a 40-hour work week. And so currently, that pay biweekly for undergraduates is $1,220, and for graduate students, it's $1,360. That's what it is for the federal internships. The corporate internships vary based on the company that you're interning with, but that will be the minimum that they pay. If it varies, it'll be, it might be more than that. Haku also pays for travel to and from internship sites. So if you're not interning in Chicago or wherever you're currently living, they will pay for your transportation to your internship and back home. And they'll also help you with finding housing. They don't pay for your housing, but they will help you arrange housing accommodations at your internship site. So if you are in a site with other interns, like most of the interns in DC end up, living with other interns. So if you're in a site where there are other interns, they'll try to place you with them. There's no credit checks or any upfront costs for you with the housing that they help arrange. They'll also automatically deduct your housing payment from your paycheck, so you don't have to worry about paying rent. It'll be fully furnished and close to public transportation and grocery stores. You can also earn academic credit for your internship. So Haku allows for you to earn academic credit. It really depends on whether your department will allow you to or not, if you can receive academic credit for the internship, but that is an option. And then another benefit of the internship program is professional development. So things like networking events, federal job fairs. There's, in the corporate program, there's like mentorship. They'll help with resumes and interviewing. So those are some of the professional development benefits that you can get with the internship program. So now eligibility. To be eligible, you have to have completed your freshman year of college before the internship begins. So anybody that's a second semester freshman right now or above can apply for the fall internship program. You also have to have a minimum of a 3.0 GPA on a 4.0 scale. You have to be enrolled in a degree-seeking program, so like a bachelor's, master's, JD, MD, PhD at an accredited higher education institution. So NEIU is an accredited higher education institution, so you all have that going for you. But If you're not enrolled in a degree seeking program, if you're in a certificate program or you're a non-degree seeking student, unfortunately you aren't eligible for the National Internship Program. I guess the one exception to that though is if you're a recent graduate from one of those programs, you can also apply to the program. You just have to have completed your internship within 12 months of your graduation. So somebody who graduated in fall 2019 can apply for the fall 2020 internship, but none later than that. And there are internships available for you as a recent graduate, but there just might not be as many opportunities available as there would be for a current student. And then the last thing that you need to be eligible for the program is authorization to work in the United States. This is especially critical with federal internships because it's interning with the federal government. You need that authorization to work in the United States. So with the federal internships, like I said, all majors are encouraged to apply. Some of the internship opportunities are available in these areas, but not limited to them. So areas like business, communications, computer science, health sciences, engineering, international studies or political science, natural sciences, and arts and humanities. Some of the in-demand majors currently are math, environmental sciences, geography and GIS, graphic design, and agricultural studies. But again, that's just kind of what's most in demand now, but all majors are encouraged to apply. Regardless of your major, there's a good chance that they have an opportunity for you. And some of the departments and agencies that have historically had internships are the USDA, the Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Defense, Department of Veterans Affairs, USAID, and the Library of Congress. And there's many more. Those are just some that have historically continually had internships available. So with the corporate internships, again, all majors are encouraged to apply, and internships are available in fields, some of the same kinds of fields like computer science, accounting, marketing, business, education, sciences, healthcare. Again, all majors are encouraged to apply. And some companies that have historically had internships with Haku are like GE, IBM, Apple, Deloitte, Lockheed Martin, and Goldman Sachs. So program deadlines. There's differences in deadlines between the federal internships and the corporate internships, and they are two separate application processes. So the federal internships are available in spring, summer, and fall. Currently, we only have the deadlines for internships through fall 2020. And that deadline for fall 2020 is June 5th. They typically announce the deadlines for the full year in like August or September. So in August or September, we'll know what the deadlines are for spring, summer, and fall 2021. But right now, fall 2020 deadline is June 5th for the application. The corporate internships are only available during the summer, but their application, there's no deadline. Students can apply throughout the year, so it's just on a rolling basis. Okay. So with these, now moving on to the applications. With the applications, it's important to note that you'll fill out just a general application for both the federal internships and the corporate internships, and Haku will place you in internships. So they'll kind of match you to see what might be a good fit. So that's important to remember when you're filling out these applications. You don't want to be, you don't want to reference like a specific agency or a specific corporation because you might not be placed with them. So it's just a general application. So for the federal internship, in the application, you'll fill out your basic demographics, emergency contact, your educational background. So, asking about your degree, classes, things like that. You'll also submit a resume, your work history. So that'll be different than your resume. You might include some stuff. You might include things include your work history in your resume, but that's separate from your resume. Also an essay, and then required documentation and a survey. So with your resume, you want to make sure that you're telling your story. You're talking about the various experiences you've had. So not limiting it to your work history or educational history, including things like volunteer experiences, any professional associations that you're a member of, any other internships or any co-curricular activities. Are you a president of an honor society? Things like that you want to include. Have you attended any professional conferences? Those are all things that you want to talk about in your resume. And then in your essay, you want to make sure that you're just answering the questions and not going beyond that. So they have 3, or might be broken down into 4 questions now that they want you to answer, and just make sure that you're answering those questions. So the last time I looked at the application, the questions were, what is your personal motivation for applying to the Haku National Internship Program? What are your academic and/or career goals? And what skills can you bring to an employer? And what skills would you like to focus on throughout the internship? So they're asking those questions to get an idea of what internship might be a good fit for you. So that's why you want to make sure that you're sticking to those questions. And again, not mentioning any specific agencies or organizations in your essay. So for the corporate internships, the actual application is shorter than the federal application. So a lot of what they're looking at is your resume. So you want to make sure that you have a strong resume. And so these are some of the guidelines that Haku has to have a strong corporate resume. So you want it to be 1 page maximum. You want to highlight leadership roles, student organizations, and volunteer experiences, any related coursework. So if you're interested in, say you're interested in becoming an accountant after graduating, so you want to list some of your accounting classes that you've had, any professional conferences that you've attended or study abroad experiences. Those are all things that you want to highlight. You also want to include all related experience, including jobs, internships, or related projects. So again, not just talking about your work history or your educational history, going beyond that, including anything that kind of talks about who you are. Including your GPA, languages and experience with software and/or computer applications or programs. So for both for the corporate internships and for the federal internships, make sure that you're having either somebody in career development look over your resume and your essay, or another trusted staff or faculty member, or even writing tutors in the Learning Success Center. Just having somebody else take a look at your application materials to let you know, if you made any spelling or grammar mistakes, or if the content in it makes sense. It's really important to have somebody else take a look at it. With the corporate internships, in addition to your resume, you want to make sure that you're able to talk about your career goals and how an internship will help you reach them. This is important for all of the internships in the program because you will be interviewing with hiring officials. So it's not just being placed in an internship, it's the whole process. So you want to make sure that you're able to talk about your career goals. So some things to keep in mind when when applying through the Haku National Internship Program is to be flexible. Because like I said, Haku is going to, they're going to match you with different internships, and it might not be something, it might not be an internship that you would have applied for on your own. So just be flexible and consider an internship even if it's not something that you would have chosen on your own. So it's still a really great opportunity, whether you're interning with the federal government or one of those major corporations. There's a lot that you can learn from any internship that you have there. So just be flexible with that. Also be open to a variety of positions in a variety of locations. I know some people may not be able to travel outside of Chicago, and that's totally understandable. But if there even is that possibility, be open to that option because it is a really great opportunity. And something to mention with that, let's see, somebody. With that, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, all of their summer internships have turned virtual, and they think that at least some of the fall ones might be virtual too. So there is that possibility of having a virtual internship, which might make it easier if you're not able to leave the Chicago area. So that's something to think about too. And you're not, even if you accept an internship, you start your internship, you don't have to stick with it. You can always choose to end your internship. They'll still pay for your travel back home. You don't have to reimburse them for anything. So that's something to keep in mind. Also be patient because the applications are looked at on a rolling basis. And the internship opportunities are forwarded to Haku on a rolling basis as well. So even if you applied, 2 months before the deadline and you haven't heard anything, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get an internship. They just might not have received an internship yet that is a good fit for you. So just be patient, and even if it's getting close to when the program's supposed to start, again, that doesn't mean that you won't get an internship. So just be patient with it. It's also important to remember that, again, you're interviewing with the hiring official and not Haku. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. So when you get matched with an internship, make sure you do some research on the agency and the hiring official themselves, if you know who it is, because that's who you'll be interviewing with. Let me see, there's some questions here. Let's see. So students with disabilities, you can definitely still participate. Just like any internship, you are covered by the Americans with Disabilities Act. So they have to provide you with reasonable accommodations. So you can definitely still apply for this, and they will make those reasonable accommodations for you. The pay, so currently it is right now bi-weekly for undergraduates, it's $1,220. And for graduates, it's $1,360. Okay. So I'm just going to leave this up here. We can still take more questions, but just so that you have this information, like I said, you can call us or email us to schedule a virtual appointment, or we do have virtual walk-in hours as well, Wednesdays 1 to 2 and Thursdays 3 to 4, and that's the Zoom meeting ID and the password up there. And then we also have somebody that works on NEIU's campus, Julio Puentes. He works for the USDA. He actually has an office on NEIU's campus, and he's very knowledgeable about the Haku National Internship Program. So if you have any questions, you can contact us or you can contact him as well. So let's see some more chats. Oh, yeah, sure. If anybody, Chris, if you want to make some comments, you can go ahead and do that.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Pierre. I'm the Director of Career Development and Community Partnerships. The one thing, and thanks, Shannon, for putting the presentation together. The one thing I really want to encourage people to do is to work with the Learning Support Center on your essay. They've got staff in that area that can really help strengthen your essays. And these internships are really competitive. So it's really in your best interest to take the time to work with one of their writing tutors, because they can, if you take the time now, they can really help you shape that essay and strengthen it. And it becomes more than just looking for typos and correcting words. It can really help strengthen it. So that's something, that's one tip that I would really encourage you to consider to take the time.
I have a question.
Okay.
Can you hear me? I have a question.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Okay, cool. So when is the app? Because my my internet had went down, so I kind of went like missed like 5 minutes of or so. When is the application due?
So for fall 2020, the application is due June 5th. So just about a month from now.
Okay, and you said that, so either we can, because I've met with you. Would you say we can schedule a meeting with you or this gentleman here?
Yeah, so Julio, if you have questions, I think right now, it would be best to email him. You can ask him questions about the program. If you want to have somebody like take a look at your resume or your essay, you can schedule an appointment with either me or Lynette or Chris in career development to take a look at that. Or other general questions that you have after this, you can always contact me as well.
Cool. You said June 5th. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then are you gonna send this the presentation to us, or?
So I can do that. Let's see. I know the best way. I did put my email in the chat, so I don't know if you all want to email me or if you want to send in the chat your email just to me, to NEIU Career Development. I can email you through there as well.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody have any other questions?
Oh, you know what? I have one more, Shannon. Do you know like offhand some of the requirements, like your GPA have to be a certain? Is there only certain programs for certain groups, or is it open to everybody?
So it is open to. I'll scroll back really quickly to the eligibility slide, so you can take a look while I talk. So it is a 3.0 GPA. You do have to be enrolled in a degree-seeking program, so like bachelor's, master's, JD, MD, PhD. If you're just enrolled in a certificate program or you're a non-degree seeking student, you aren't eligible. And you have to be authorized to work in the U.S. and also have completed your freshman year of college before entering the internship.
Oh, cool. And have you done an internship through them before?
I have not. I know people that have done it though, but I haven't personally done it.
I guess my question is, because like I said, I don't know if I probably missed this when my internet went down.
Mhm.
But let me see how I'm trying to say this. For example, I don't know if they are affiliated with the actual federal government. But like yesterday, I looked through there and they had some student positions as well. So I don't know if they're affiliated, if that's something completely different.
So they're not affiliated with the federal government. They're a nonprofit. They're the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities, but they kind of fill internships in the federal government. So different governmental agencies forward internships to them, and Haku matches students with those internships. So they're not federal government, but they kind of work with them.
Okay, and then you said that for undergraduate, you said that the amount is $1,200 biweekly or weekly?
Bi-weekly. So it would be,
24.
they advertise it as 610 weekly, but you get paid bi-weekly, which ends up being $1,220 bi-weekly.
Yeah. Okay.
I see some chats here. Okay, so it's emails. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Alejandra. So just because of that particular question within if undergrads are only getting 1,200, like let's say I'm in Washington and rent is 850, they would take that 850 out of the check and then just pretty much leave the rest, right? Is there any other financial costs that they don't cover?
So yeah, so they would just take that rent right out. Other financial costs that they don't cover would be like food, basic needs like that, or your transportation once you are at your internship site. So if you use the metro in DC, they wouldn't pay for that. You would have to pay for that. So those those general, I guess, yeah, those would be some things that they wouldn't cover.
So they would cover just like your like if we're in Chicago, they just cover the flight and then the flight back, but not the current transportation within the internship, correct?
Correct. That's
okay.
Correct. They do provide it though, like from the airport to your to your apartment there. They will provide that transport. That's included in like your travel to and from the internship site. But once you are there, they don't cover your transportation. But they do try to ensure that you are close to public transportation so that it is easy for you to use.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Looks like there's some more chats. Okay, so the question is, if an applicant were to apply for a fall internship, when might they be notified of their placement? It varies. So that's kind of part of that be patient tip that I had. You might, if you were to apply today, you might hear before the June 5th application deadline, or it might be like a week before the program starts. It really just depends on if they have an internship that they're able to match you with, when you'll be notified. So unfortunately, there's not an exact date for that. There's some more in the chat. Okay. Does anybody have any more questions or anything else? Okay.
Shannon,
Yes.
do you know, So do we can go right through NEIU to look up the programs in more detail?
So you wouldn't be, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My question was, I'm trying to see where exactly can we go to find out more about the program to see if it's, if it's something that we're interested in more detail.
Okay, I will, let me really quickly, I'll share with you a link to Haku's website. And I'll share it in the chat so that you can all see it. So that website in the chat there, that's where you can find out some more information about the internship program. Let's see, it looks like somebody's asking, they would need a supervisor at an internship site to have at least a master's level degree. Is that something that Haku can help arrange? That is a good question. I'm not entirely sure about that. I can, let me write that down and I'm going to see if I can find that information for you. Don't know if that would be something that you would need to like put in your application. Let's see. So it looks like, Jasmine, did you send your email in the chat? If not, can you do that so I can send you, so I can let you know what I find out? Okay. Okay, I'll see what I can find out and I'll let you know. Does anybody else have any other questions? If nobody has any other questions, like I said, you can feel free to contact us in career development to set up an appointment. You can contact me directly for questions, or you can contact Julio as well. And now,
And Shannon, what are your hours right now?
so we're still working normal hours, so 9 to 5 Monday through Thursday and 9 to 4 on Friday. So it's still our normal hours. We're just doing everything virtually.
Yeah, got you. But yeah, what I was asking is like, what are your particular hours that you're open? Like, do you have any particular days or hours you're open as we speak?
I will, I'll send you an email, and we can schedule over that.
Cool. All right.
Okay. So thank you everybody for coming. I hope this was helpful. And like I said again, feel free to contact us to schedule an appointment or for more information.